Hey guys, it's Phil Morrison, dating coach for men with social anxiety. Had this fantastic long discussion with a client today. We were talking about empathy because we're both people with very, very high levels of empathy, which is a massively positive thing. But also, there's so many traps that you can fall into if you don't learn to handle your empathy and express it in the right way. And one trap, which I fell into many times in the past, and my client has as well, is the trap where you actually compromise yourself. So maybe you don't want someone else to make, you don't want to make someone else feel awkward, so you hold back. And it can even be someone that's been a bit offhanded with you. So an example is where someone's nice and friendly with you at the start, then they're a bit off with you, a bit weird, and suddenly you find yourself stifled around that person, and you're not your usual playful, joking self. And when you go away and think about it, you realize that the reason that you've shrunken yourself down is actually to not make the other person feel awkward, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. They're the one that, they're someone that's being off with you, and you've shrunken your personality, you've shut down your natural charisma from a place of empathy to try to not make them feel awkward. But here's the thing. If you shut down your personality and you stifle yourself and you close up, it's going to make you really miserable. Then the people that you care about the most, they're going to feel miserable because you're miserable, and you'll have less to give as well. So your parents want to see you feeling happy and enjoying yourself. And if you start to compromise yourself and get yourself stifled, and you don't put yourself out there, and basically if you shut down your personality, even for the intention of not offending someone, actually that's a really bad thing, because of course it's bad for you, and it's also bad for all the people around you, because then your mood's down and you can't help out anyone. So it's about rewiring your brain and focus, and realizing that it's actually kinder to have boundaries. You're so much kinder when you have strong boundaries, and you don't compromise yourself to fit in. You don't compromise yourself to not offend someone. That doesn't mean you purposely offend people, but it means that you just put yourself out there and you really own who you are. And this is a really great balance. And there's many other traps with empathy as well, where people will mistake it sometimes for weakness. My client used the phrase niceness being mistook for foolishness. So certain people with lower empathy, that are very much operating from the level of the ego, they may sense that someone is a good person and try and take advantage of that good person. And that's another potential downside to having high levels of empathy. But really all that means is that you have to learn the social martial arts of social self-defense, where you verbally stand up for yourself and you're really, really sharp, and basically you don't take shit from people, while still being a good person. So it's getting the balance right. Doesn't mean you have to be overly militant and turn into a grade A arsehole, but it does mean that you have to stand up for yourself and say things in a very, very clear and firm, but also respectful way. If someone crosses a boundary of yours and it just feels weird, it's like that person, they didn't treat me with the level of respect that I deserved, you can say to that person, hey, I didn't think that was cool. What you just did there, it made me feel kind of weird, and yeah, I'm not cool with that. you can confront that person and just tell them. And something which I've noticed is that I'm still not perfect, I still work on myself, but as I've become a lot more confident and my self-esteem has gone up, generally speaking, it's very rare that people try to test my boundaries. It does happen, but it's a lot rarer than it used to be, for sure. And I've noticed that because I'm not really afraid of people. I used to be afraid of people, but I very much look at people like, I'm not afraid of you. I have no bad intentions, but I don't fear you. And usually these people that would otherwise perhaps try and take advantage of you, they can sense that you're not afraid, and because of that they back down. So generally, facing fears and getting more confident and getting your self-esteem up is something that really helps, and it'll mean that you get picked on a lot less, and people don't really try to test your boundaries. There's times where you'll have to cut someone out of your life who does test your boundaries, and I've actually done this really recently with a friend of mine who I met up with for coffee, and I realised that I've no disrespect, but outgrown this person, and you know, I didn't really enjoy meeting them. It wasn't that uplifting, so I've cut them out of my life. And this is something that you have to do as well. You know, while society has some negative connotations associated with being selfish, there's lots of positive sides to selfishness as well. So firstly, you know, if when you look after yourself, you're going to feel so much better and have so much more energy, and therefore you're going to have so much more to give. You've got to fill your cup before you can share with others. And if you're on a plane, you've got to sort out your own oxygen mask so that you're sorted out before you can help out other people. So there's times where you have to cut people out of your life. There will still be times where you have to verbally, you have to confront people and state what your boundaries are. So it's not like there's some bulletproof formula. But something that I learned as well, which has really helped me out, and it's basically over time, it's training yourself so that you're really present in the moment and really sharp. So I go to the gym pretty much every day, about 6 days a week. This really helps, the fact that I'm going there and pushing myself. I also do events, face my fears on a regular basis. And because I have this momentum from doing this activity, that activity, and I'm so disciplined, it means that I'm sharp. And because I'm sharp, it's unlikely for someone to try and pick on me or test my boundaries, because they can sense that I'm present in the moment and I'm loose, I'm relaxed. I'm not going to be afraid to come back at them with something if I had to. So being really sharp, focused and switched on is massively positive too. And something else which springs to mind, it's really, really important that, you know, if you're someone with a lot of empathy and you're working on your boundaries, that's great stuff. But don't be afraid of being positive and actually putting your opinions out there. It's pretty easy sometimes. Just going to cross this road. It would be pretty easy, wouldn't it, to like be overly cautious and stop putting out this opinion or that opinion in case someone picked on you or tested you in some way. You know, afraid of maybe someone snubbing you, someone being weird or offhanded with you. So again, there's nothing wrong with being positive, upbeat, and putting yourself out there. 100% keep doing this. And if you are working your boundaries, really, really important to be patient with yourself. it's something which takes a long time to get right, and you're going to have to fail your way to success with this skill set. So if you do want to work on your boundaries, be excited first of all that there's something which you can work on, something which you can grow at, something which is going to help you out. So it's fantastic to have room for growth, and you're going to tap some of your potential and become a stronger person because of it. So be excited and ask yourself the question, how can I get a little bit better with practicing boundaries? This is a great first step. How can I get just a bit better than I am right now? And just, you'll find ways to practice your boundaries here, practice your boundaries there, and get better and better and better over time. And 3 months down the line, you'll be a lot better at having boundaries, finding that right balance where you can be that person with lots of empathy, but be confident that other people are not going to pick on you or take the piss, or certainly you're not going to allow that. You can stand up for yourself as well. You'll find that sweet spot and that balance. So 3 months down the line, you'll be a lot better at this. 6 months, you'll be just massively better. But it's a long-term thing, so just keep on working at it, getting better and better. Be patient with yourself, and it's a really, really important skill set, the social self-defense. And yeah, I just thought I'd do a little video on this topic. I'm definitely going to come back to it and do a really in-depth video where I give you some specific strategies and tactics and techniques you can use just to practice diffusing different situations, and what to do if people laugh at you or make fun of you, how you can really stand up for yourself in a good way. I'll definitely do some detailed videos on that, but I just thought I'd do a really quick video on my way back from coaching, and I had this great chat with my client about this topic, and it really made me realize that there's such potential to help people out with this topic. You know, so many people go through life without knowing how to set boundaries with people, and because of that they suffer. And many people have high levels of empathy, and they make mistakes and fall into traps because of this, not learning how to tackle things that in a way which fits with their personality. So if you like this video, please hit like and subscribe to the channel for more content, and I wish you a great rest of your day.